Hello there, viewers, and welcome to another video game conspiracies / mystery. Today we're going to be examining possibly the most famous glitch of all time, MissingNo from Pokémon Red, Blue and Yellow. MissingNo is a Pokémon species found in the games Pokémon Red and Blue, and you can also find it in Yellow, and MissingNo stands for missing number. MissingNo is pretty much a Pokémon that's used as error handlers by developer Game Freak, and they appear when the game attempts to access data for a non-existent Pokemon species. Due to the programming of 3 in-game events, players can encounter MissingNo via a glitch. And the species was first documented by Nintendo in the May 1999 issue of Nintendo Power. Now, encountering MissingNo causes graphical errors and the mass replication of the 6th item in the player's item menu, up to a number of 128. Now, when I was a child, when this glitch was going around, a lot of people would put the Master Ball or rare candies in that slot in order to get it as, amazingly high number of, really good items. IGN has noted MissingNo's appearance in Pokémon Red and Blue as one of the most famous video game glitches, and fans of the series have attempted to rationalise MissingNo as canon, and sociologists have studied its impact on players. So it is actually, rather a hardcore glitch, to be honest. And it's actually real, this one, because unlike Lavender Town Syndrome, where it could be debatable whether it's real or not, because lots of people have differing symptoms, what cannot be denied is MissingNo has been found by billions upon billions of players. And I remember when I first found it myself, and I don't know if you remember, it was like late 90s, but there was a massive Pokemon craze. And literally, if you could find out how to do the MissingNo glitch, or you were good at Pokemon, you got friends. And it was actually the first time I had proper friends, was when I was able to do Pokemon and other people weren't. Now, the history of MissingNo, it was developed by Game Freak and published by Nintendo. This is about the Pokemon series, sorry. The Pokemon series began in Japan in 1996. Now, as we all know, the plot of Pokemon Red and Blue is the player assumes the role of a Pokemon trainer whose goal is to capture and train creatures called Pokemon. Players use the creature's special abilities to combat other Pokemon, and certain abilities also grant new ways to navigate the game's world, such as instantaneous travel between 2 areas. Now, Nintendo first documented the events that caused MissingNo to appear in the May 1999 issue of Nintendo Power, with a warning that any contact with it could easily erase your game file or corrupt your graphics. Now, this is actually untrue. What has been found is it definitely causes graphical errors, but if you perform a soft reset or you perform a hard reset, which is turning the hardware on and off, then the graphical glitches will sort themselves. What does happen with MissingNo is your 6th item slot, as I've said before, duplicates for some reason. You can get graphical errors if you catch it, and your Hall of Fame entries in the Hall of Fame in the Pokemon League will be completely glitched, and it's a pretty awesome looking glitch. I mean, it proper messes up. So that is pretty awesome. Now, the glitch is a result of a succession of events. First, players watch an in-game tutorial for Pokemon capture in Viridian City. Now, the player then uses a Pokemon with a fly ability to reach the game's Cinnabar Island location, and then uses a Pokemon with the surf ability to travel up and down the eastern shore of the island until a MissingNo appears. Now, characteristics. Now, encountering a MissingNo Pokemon is a result of 3 computing effects. The first is the game's random battle encounter system. Each area assigns values to Pokemon in a data buffer, which the game accesses for the player's encounters with wild Pokemon. However, no values are assigned to this buffer on the east coast of the Cinnabar and Seafoam Island locations. The information from the previously visited area is used instead. The second factor is the in-game tutorial, which temporarily stores the player's name in the data buffer. This causes the game to access the hexadecimal values of the player's name for Pokemon encounters at Cinnabar and Seafoam Island. The third factor is the game's error handling system. If the game selects a value from the data buffer that is not an existing Pokemon, a subroutine is triggered that causes the appearance of a Pokemon named MissingNo, short for missing number. As with any wild Pokemon, players may flee from, fight, or capture MissingNo. After an encounter with MissingNo, the quantity of the 6th item in the player's item menu is increased by 128, and the game's Hall of Fame Pokemon Gallery becomes permanently glitched. Temporary temporary graphical glitches may also occur, which can be removed by viewing the statistic page for another Pokemon or resetting the console. A captured MissingNo is a fully functional Pokemon, however, and appears in the game's Pokemon index as number 000. All MissingNo possess consistent abilities, types, statistics, and sounds. The Pokemon commonly appears as a scrambled D shape, but certain encounter values cause it to appear as one of 3 sprites not used by other Pokemon. This can be the fossils that you can find in the Pewter City Museum, as well as other things. Now, this is the reaction and reception. Now, while it appeared in only Pokemon Blue and Red originally, MissingNo has had a significant impact. Calling it a programming quirk, Nintendo warned against encountering it, claiming players could possibly have to restart the game from the beginning to remove the graphical glitches. Despite Nintendo's warning, information on how to encounter MissingNo was printed in several magazines and players' guides due to its perceived positive effects. Certain players attempted to sell tips on capturing MissingNo for up to $200. In 2009, IGN included MissingNo in its list of top video game Easter eggs, citing its usefulness in replicating the game's rarer items. IGN stated in a related article, it really says something about Pokemon fans that they took what is potentially game-ruining glitch and used it as a shortcut to level up their Pokemon, and later called it an unforgettable glitch that helped push the original games to gaming superstardom. Players' reactions to MissingNo have been the subject of sociological studies. Sociologist William Sins Bainbridge, stated that Game Freak created one of the most popular glitches ever in game histories, and cited its creative usage by players. In the book Pikachu's Global Adventure, The Rise and Fall of Pokemon, Professor of Education Julian Sefton Green noticed that in his study of his son's reactions to MissingNo's usage as a cheat, the child's outlook towards the game was altered drastically, and added that the presence of such elements as a result broke the illusion of the game as an enclosed world and reminded them that at heart it's a computer program. The book Playing with Video Games contains elements as a result. Book Playing with Video Games contains an in-depth study of MissingNo, which details players' curiosities when encountering the Pokemon. It describes their tendency to compare notes on its appearances and to give assessments and critique to each other's findings. The book states that in their attempts to canonize MissingNo through fan art and fiction, Pokemon communities celebrated the game's imperfections and tried to imprint themselves on series canon. The author described these circumstances as unique to MissingNo and called its popularity an unusual case. Now, overall, it cannot be denied that the MissingNo glitch had a profound impact on gaming culture, as did the Pokemon series as a whole. I mean, I can remember when I found it out, like I've said before, and it had such a drastic impact on the game, and it really helped cement it as something, as a game that was just huge, because before that time, I'd never really been into video games. And Pokemon really got me into them. And the glitch itself was the first glitch that I ever knew how to do. And I think everyone really knows, whoever played Pokemon Blue and Red to a massive extent, knows all about the MissingNo glitch. And, it shows how profound an impact it had by the fact that people are still talking about it, discussing it, and, even reminiscing about it to this day. So yeah, this is the video game conspiracy / mystery of MissingNo. Well, it cannot be denied that it isn't real, because of the impact it's had on many gaming cultures and sensibilities. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and please leave positive or negative comments in the comment section below, and let me know what you thought of this video, and give me any suggestions on what other video game conspiracies you'd like me to have a look at, because I'm always open to suggestions. So this has been Geezer, and I'm signing off right now, and I do hope you have a good day.